Passengers are stranded at both Jomo Kenyatta International Airport and Tambo International Airport. Flights remain grounded in Kenya amid a strike by aviation workers over a management row. Kenya Airports Authority workers say they're opposed to a plan to the handover of management to Kenya Airways. They've expressed concern that the plans will render most of them jobless. Our reporter Sarah Kimani spoke to the Minister of Transport and the Managing Director of Kenya Airways.
To all our customers for this real discomfort. But also I'll use this opportunity to ask you to convey the message that all passengers, we ask them to look at the flights, how are they departing after 11 a.m. because of course this morning wave will have an impact on all day operations of Kenya Airways throughout the day. However, we are really expecting that the evening wave and the evening flight should already be going normally according to normal schedule, and we've also taken the decision that each rebooking of each flight on Kenya Airways and all stations is done for free throughout the day. So should any of our customers wishes to not fly today, rebook or delay the flight, that's going to be done without any financial impact. So we are focusing actually on just re-establishing normal operations as quickly as possible, not to have our passengers waiting in the terminals for departing.
The initial complaint was about the proposed merger. And I said we do not sit around the table to discuss about proposed transactions. Because it may not happen. I think you're not here when I was explaining that. So the point is nothing has happened. It's a proposal. We are still engaging in the parties concerned in those discussions. Whenever it happens, then we shall make the appropriate pronouncements. But also, let me also say, it's not the business of the union people to decide who is the management of the company. It's not their business. That's the business of the board and the employer. Because if you allowed everybody to come in and say who should be managing the institution, then there will be anarchy. That's not their business. Let them focus on what they're employed to do. If it's screening for security reasons, but not get involved in matters they don't understand.
Well, for more on this story, we cross to my colleague Sarah Kimani, who's standing by for us.
Indeed, we are still at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. It's about 8 hours since a strike here by aviation workers started. Hundreds of passengers still stranded. I'm right outside the Kenya Airways terminal, where at least 3 flights have now been able to leave the country. We have one headed to Amsterdam, where we have one headed for Lagos, which is also the same one that will go to Accra. And we have one headed to Juba, that is the capital of South Sudan, that is also preparing to leave. But we also have some domestic flights that have also been able to leave. But that is just Kenya Airways. Away from here, we understand it is chaos at the other terminals where other airlines are supposed to be checking in and going through the security processes to be able to depart the country. One airline, Ethiopian Airways, we understand, has cancelled all the flights out of Nairobi today, saying that it is not able to contain the situation at the moment. The strike started at 5 in the morning, and workers' union here saying that they have gone on strike to demand that the government stops ongoing proposals to have Kenya Airways, the Kenya national carrier Kenya Airways, and the Airports Authority merge into one entity. They say that the Kenya Airways does not have the capacity to do that, considering that it has been making major losses. Now, some of the Kenya Airways staff members are being prepared to be taken back to hotels or to go back home as the flights may be cancelled. So a huge crisis here and huge losses expected. In the morning when we spoke to the managing director of Kenya Airways, Sebastian Mikovic, he was saying that at least 24 flights were supposed to leave the country at 5 in the morning. All those were delayed. Some of them will now leave, but many of them will be delayed, and this will have a ripple effect in other countries. I've spoken to people who are stranded at the Tambo in Johannesburg. I've spoken to somebody who's stranded in Kigali, Rwanda. All of them were expected to come back to Nairobi, but without air traffic controllers, without people working within the airport to be able to help their situation get back to normal, then it becomes difficult. I'm sure you're wondering, so how are these people who have left leaving? Who's in charge of the airport now? Now, the government is using the management staff of Kenya Airports Authority and also some of the management staff of Kenya Airways, and they have also brought in members of the Kenya Air Force, the defense forces, to be able to help in getting people out of the airport. We understand that at any given time, 300 people work at this airport. A skeleton staff of 30 people is the one that is dealing with the situation right now. So indeed a crisis for the 4th largest airport in Africa. I will be giving you more details as they come in right from Nairobi, Kenya.
My colleague there, Sarah Kimani, reporting on those delays at Kenya Airport.